Okay, I'm taking a quick break from the workbench area. I did pick up the MDF for it, but it is hot in this garage, and I figured this would be a perfect opportunity to see if I could bench test this vent fan that I got. It's actually a small whole house fan. I went with a smaller 10-inch AC Infinity. See if I can put up the model number and everything. But I thought I'd plug it in, test out the controller, make sure everything worked before I went and hauled it all up into the attic. Like I said, it's pretty warm. I might not be installing it today, but yeah, at least I can get things up and out of the way, and that'll be just more stuff out of this area. Okay, I got everything wired up and just kind of fiddling with the manual controls a little bit. I had a QuietCool in my last garage. That was just a simple on-off unit, and I could set it to 2, 4, 6, 8 hours or permanently on, and there was no speed control. It was either on or off. It worked great, but sometimes you don't want the loud vibration of the fan. So I don't know if you can tell if this picks up on the is picking up on the video, but this is on at its lowest setting, and I'm right next to it. This thing is quiet. Let me see if I can turn it up. Make sure it doesn't walk off the table. That's 5. Okay, now it sounds like a jet engine. Well, I guess it works. That's kind of fun. Okay. I'll probably haul the pieces, at least put them up in the attic right now, and we'll see if it's too hot up there. I might hold off on this for another day, but glad to see that it works. This apparently you can program it and set it to turn on and off with a sensor, temperature probe, and you can also, there's an app attached to it, so you can control this if you forget to turn it on or whatever. You can control it remotely. So far I'm pretty happy. And then here's the grill. This is actually fairly nice compared to what I had with the QuietCool. Latches up like that and then swings down, and you can see here the obviously gravity would pull these down normally, and these just swing open once it's on. So that's kind of nice. Maybe that could have been a little tighter, but all in all, that's actually kind of a nice setup. So this part obviously is going to go down on this side of things. I'll remove this front grate and then haul this part up. I need to think about where exactly I want to put this. Should, I think, fit between the joists, and if not, I might need to box something in. No big deal. I had to do that with the QuietCool. I had to bend one of the flanges and box it on 3 sides, but you got to be a little creative because this is already drywalled, and these flanges, I believe, are meant to go on top of the drywall, but underneath the stud here. So yeah, we'll see what we got. I just noticed this box has a little bit of a dent on the top here. Cosmetically, no big deal. However, you can probably see that gap there. It did cause this to push away a little bit. So that honestly is not that big of a deal. What I'm going to do, I've got some vent tape. I'm just gonna put the vent tape here and then probably along both these seams, just so it, you know, doesn't just leak air out of there as it's trying to suck. And honestly, that probably wouldn't make that big of a difference, but I'll go ahead and close it up. It's less hassle just to do that than it would be to, you know, try to return it and make a claim. So unless there's anything else wrong with it that I find along the way, I'm still happy. Okay, I am up on top of the garage. You can hear my air conditioner condenser outside. and all my electrical going to the box and everything. That's exciting. I think what I'm going to do is, this is the back corner, so the workbench is right down there and the shelving's here. I think I'm going to aim for a square right there. I'll probably build in a little cross member and a cross member, just so this thing has a few sides to mount to. This is different than the QuietCool. This is a separate box, like the motor's not attached to it, so it's a heck of a lot lighter. That being said, I still don't think I want all that weight just on the drywall. I definitely want to mount it to something wood. So that'll be my path forward. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, this is going to need to come up that way. So I don't know if I want to put it that far back. Let me see. That should work just fine. We'll split the difference with that drywall line right there, and then we'll run this up. Probably mount the motor. Let me think about this. Yeah, so we'll string it along. We'll probably mount the motor right here. That should reach here. It's not close to a vent. I've got ridge vents up at the top there, but just enough to draw the air out of the garage itself. And that should be able to displace as much air as we put in here. Okay, it's hot as heck up here. I just made a little cut on the corner where I'm gonna have that. It's 14 1/4 square here. This is assuming I'll be able to tuck one of those flanges underneath here. We'll see if that works. So I'll go ahead and, from the other side where it's about 30 degrees cooler, cut the square out from down below. Well, there's the two cuts I made. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I like it so close to the shelf. I suppose it's fine. It's going to be overhanging plenty. I could always scoot it over to the other joist. I'll go ahead and do that. I know it's 22 3/4 to the other joist. So let me make a mark there, draw out a little template on the ceiling, and go from there. Okay, that's roughly where the vent is going to go. I'll probably cut this out, and then I will grab some wood. Trying to figure out if I want to use 2x4 for this. That seems like overkill since it's just the box. But I'll build something up so that it'll span between the joists, and I'll brace it on the two sides. It's not the whole unit, not the motor, as I've said, so I'm not worried about it crashing through here, kind of like I was with the QuietCool, kind of all in one unit. So yeah, let me cut this out and I'll build something up. Okay, I went ahead and boxed that in between the rafters. Again, it's just a vent box, not a motor, so I feel really good. I created holes in the drywall, so I'm going to secure the box to the underside of these, and these are screwed into the joists. This is, what are we supposed to say? This ain't going anywhere. Because I'm a masochist, I threw a thermometer up here and it's still climbing, pushing 100. I don't want to see where it levels off at, so I'm going to go back down. Okay, this is the housing, I guess. This is where the fan mounts. I removed the actual center component so I could get to the mounting structure. I do have these rubber feet. This might be overkill, probably is, but what I plan to do is mount this to a shelf I'm going to install up there, and then put these rubber feet in between just for a little added vibration isolation, just so it doesn't transfer as much vibration into the structure, and you don't get a annoying groan or anything. But now I just need to figure out where I'm going to find any scrap wood to build this shelf. Okay, here's what I came up with. It's going to be the nicest looking piece of lumber up in the attic, but it's just a piece of the shelf. I feel fine using particle board. It's going to stay hot and dry up there, and it's literally only holding this fan. I do have the little isolation pads there, and it's lock washered or lock netted onto the back, so it's it's not cranked down here. You can still, well, I don't know if you can see that. I just tightened it enough to where it's holding, but not like cranked down. So this is definitely overkill for isolation of vibration, but whatever, we're here. We might as well make it fun. Okay, I've got the power off downstairs. I've got, I think, everything I need up in the attic to install the vent fan. I'm also going to work on the electrical. I'll probably show you that in another video. I don't know if you can see that. It's early morning. It is a glorious 65 degrees up here. Time is not on my side though. It's going to heat up probably into the 90s today, so that means it's going to get a lot higher up here. So let's get to work. Okay, it might not look like much, and that's because it isn't. So simple little shelf. It's plenty strong. We're not worried about it. I've got it mounted again on these feet. The entire system, or the entire, got the entire fan hooked up, the vent fan. It came with straps to hold up the tube, vent, whatever you want to call this. So I am going to just go ahead and strap to the joist just to hold it at a straighter line. Probably won't matter too much. It's a very short run, but we'll do it anyway. And like I said earlier, I'm going to get my vent tape and just kind of tape around that top corner just to seal up any gaps. But it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning yet, and it's already starting to heat up. I can feel it. I really want to get this wired up today if I could, but at the same time, I'm doing my lights. So we'll see. I might start stringing the lights up. Normally, I would hardwire something like this. Apparently, that voids the warranty. So I'll just go ahead and install a receptacle up here, probably just right on this joist to plug it in. I also want to run the controls down into the garage itself, and I got a convenient hole right there that I can probably make use of. The question is if the cords going down to the control panel and the thermometer, the probe, are long enough to do that. They sell longer ones, but we'll see. Okay, I went and did all of my wiring. You'll see the wiring for the lights in another video, but I've got my receptacle that I plan to plug the vent fan into, and it has power. I have a handy little tester just to make sure it has the correct grounding and wiring, and 2 green lights means correct. I'm happy. Okay, we have everything buttoned up there. I still keep forgetting to bring the strap up to connect that hose, but that's not a big deal. There goes my AC for the house. It says it's 97 degrees up here. I think I believe that. Let's try to turn this on and see what happens. Apparently nothing. What are you wrong? Okay, there it goes. See the blades turning there. Put it at 5, see what it sounds like. I know you can't see that, but it's blowing quite a bit of air. Let's set it to jet mode. Well, it's exciting times. I might play around with the app, see if I can connect remotely, and see if I can do that from downstairs, because as we pointed out, it's hot up here. Okay, I turned off the fan. I'm gonna head back down. Immediately it starts creeping up, well, close to 100, but only 15% relative humidity. That's cool. So I'm gonna close up the door here, the trap door, and see how hot it gets after a little bit, and then kick on the fan and see if that actually helps the attic temperature up here. Okay, the attic, the space above the garage, has leveled off at about 105 degrees. We're in the hottest hour of the day for the next hour and a half or so, so it should not be going down. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick off the vent fan and see, I can watch the flaps open there and see how the temperature changes over time. So it's not quiet, this is at the highest setting, but I'm able to, I'm not having to shout over it. Maybe I can get a decibel reading on this. Okay, this has been going full blast for about 30 minutes. It's already dropped over 10 degrees upstairs, up in the attic area above the garage. I'm gonna turn it down and let it coast and see how it does. Okay, I don't know if you can tell from the screenshots from the app, but the fan was able to displace enough air that it held the attic close to the low 90s that the ambient temperature outside was. So that's gonna help really control the temperature up there. I do plan to insulate this garage, so that's gonna, do a big part for maintaining the garage temperature, but having the attic temperature, the ability to drop it down to ambient is going to be huge. So on top of that, any fumes I create, either through welding or grinding or painting, I'm gonna have an avenue to vent those out and draw some fresh air into the garage. So it's a win-win. Okay, that's gonna be it for this video. I'm really happy with the install. I will go along, and when I clean up all the drywall in this garage, I will mud up those holes where I put the screws in. And eventually I'm gonna run the controls down. I think it's gonna be somewhere around here, just kind of where the hole is. I could make another hole, I might do that, we'll see. Okay, if you're still with me, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and we're gonna press forward and keep working on projects in this garage.